list every year. I suggested that part of a bigger portion of that go into our streets fund so that we're getting ahead of this a little bit. So will we need to do something different? Perhaps. Will there be a bond? We'll have to look at it and see what the rates are and see what the cost is. But there's ideas out there that we can implement right now that would help shore up some of these roads and get that backlog attended to. It's not going to be easy. We've got tough decisions coming ahead. We don't know what the interest rate market's going to be like and what funds are going to be available. We're going to lose short-term sales tax revenue in the next year. So all this stuff is going to be factored out, and you're going to need somebody that can make these tough decisions and make these calls that has a financial background. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our final question of the evening is coming up, but first let me remind the audience, if you have additional questions for the candidates after tonight's forum, there's a QR code in the event program that's called Ask the Candidates. If we scan that QR code, we will field the questions and we will email those to the candidates and then they can respond at their discretion. So I just want to remind everyone of that. Now we'll move on to our fifth and final question of the evening, and it may sound familiar because we asked it last week. Why do you want to do this? What skills do you possess that qualifies you for this position? And why do you feel like your presence will benefit the town of Fountain Hills? We will start with Mayor Dickey.
Thank you so much. I think a lot of it is what I've been doing for the last 40 plus years that I've lived here. It's going to be a little bit in my closing, but if we talk about the way this town is, it's a family in my mind. It's been that way until now. Everything I've done has been voluntary, school board, I just name it, facilities advisory committee with my sister when the kids were going to school in trailers. So basically I bring a love of the town, a depth of experience, an ability to work across the table with all kinds of people, from U.S. senators to, like I said, sweeping the Kiwanis building and doing all of those things. When we were on those committees and you had deadlines and you were either trying to put a show together or you were helping the PTA or you were at Fountain Fiesta, people relied on you to be there and to care and to do the things that you said you would do. And I've done that since day one, since that first town hall is what they called it instead of strategic plan in 1984, just a couple months after I arrived here. And I've really never stopped since. And like I said, and again, it'll be in the closing statement, but I would love the opportunity to continue serving this town. This town is our hometown. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Friedel.
Thank you. Why do I want to do this? Look in this room. Every resident in this room is here for a reason, because we all love this town. I get up every morning and I like what we see. I like what we have. I've been a volunteer all my life, very similar to Mayor Dickey. Started out at the YMCA. I was on the board of the YMCA where I came from for 12 years. My wife and I spend so much time out in this community, talking to people, visiting businesses. I want to continue that as mayor of this town. This town is different. We have a unique character. Why do we want to not have that? I can't think of a reason why. We have an opportunity here to make a difference and continue what we have. It's a beautiful place to be. Again, unique, and that's why I want to do this. So I appreciate the fact that I'm able to do it, and I will always be able to do that for our town. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe Arpaio.
Excuse me, we need more babies in this town. Okay? When babies are born here, and this is a great town to live, maybe they'll stick around and get to be an adult, and then they will have babies. So we have to do things different when you're talking about this town. Now, I love this town. I'm not doing this. I'm known around the world. There's no doubt about that. And by the way, I can use that to put this town on the map, which it almost isn't on the map anyway. So I'm going to use that to bring tourism in here, bring more people in here, and do something different. Now, we have to be careful. we have a limit on how many people can live here. We're surrounded. So we have to think about how many people can we handle? 30,000. But if it's done right, we can do it and forget raising taxes. There are some people, I'm not going to name names, that want to raise taxes. We have the money. Quit talking about raising taxes. They know who I am, who they are. That's a cop-out. Let's manage properly, do what's right for this place. And when I'm elected mayor, I'm going to have a shocking revelation. You're going to have to elect me to find that out. I'm not bashful. So we're going to do the right thing. And I'll say this, everybody that served on the council in the past has always left something good. Everybody. I commend everybody that runs for office.
Joe,
Always left something good. That's my philosophy.
Joe, we got it.
I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
Well, it's red. I hate red.
Thank you.
Why is everybody laughing? I love red.
Okay, that concludes the question portion of the evening. We will hold applause till the very end, but I do want to take a moment to thank the candidates for participating in tonight's forum and providing informative and thoughtful responses to the questions that we have presented to them. We will now move on to closing statements. Candidates, you have 2 minutes for your closing statements. We'll begin with Joe Arpaio, and we're watching the clock.
Steve, we started with an A. I don't know if that's good or bad. I thought we just did it. So we want it over again. I love this town. Lived here for 23 years. My wife, Ava, everybody said they blaspheme, but they all say we love your wife. That's okay. I was only as good as my wife. She followed me everywhere. Turkey, Mexico. I'm not going to get into my bio. We'll be here for 50 years. But I did something for this town. It is 30 years that I've been protecting this town. People forget I was head of the federal drug enforcement for 5 years, and I covered this town. That's 30 years fighting the drug traffic, illegal immigration. I cleaned up the streets in this town from illegal immigration and the dope peddlers. So I did my part. I have skin in the game. I own businesses. One thing I want is put that third machine that you got for the fountain. You have to turn one off all the time. When I'm the mayor, we're going to get 4 motors. I know where to go to get it. So let's get serious about this. Get serious. I don't need this job. I want to use all my background, my history to help this town. There's no other reason to run for mayor because I have the decision, my wife and I, to run for this town, to make a difference, and I will do everything in my power to do something in this town regarding the politics around or the slaves, the Democrat slave, Republican slave. My slave is the people. I have always gone to the people. I don't need slaves. And that's the way I operate.
Thank you. Next, Councilmember Friedel.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. For me, it's easy to remember why I'm here. The 3 E's: experience, education, and engagement. This town is ready for a change in leadership. So what is a good leader? A good leader eliminates fear and doesn't cause it by following the rules and the procedures. A good leader is humble in both victories and defeats. A good leader makes those around them better by bringing everybody together. Thus, they become a better leader. I'm a mayoral candidate because I care about our town. I know I will bring value to the town staff, the council, and the residents serving as mayor of Fountain Hills. My promise to you is transparency, efficiency, effectiveness, and voting based on facts, research, and the desires of the residents, not on how I feel. How do we move forward then as a town council, a town, and a business community? We do that by rebuilding trust, by following the rules and bringing back integrity and transparency, and treating everybody with respect. I will do this by not accepting campaign contributions from companies that have a financial interest in this town, because then you get rid of the appearance of improper influence. I will not allow continued rubber stamping of contracts. Contracts are renewed for a reason and should be properly renegotiated to the best benefit of the town and the residents. I will conduct council business in open sessions, and I will reserve executive sessions for legal and personnel matters. My promise to you is transparency and a review of all ordinances and procedures dealing and affecting our business community. We are ready for this change in Fountain Hills. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Mayor Jenny Dickey.
Thank you. At the State of the Town, I said that we were at a crossroads, and I was referring then to what path we might be following to reunite our community in good faith. Another choice has started to emerge. Are we content with our median age edging up, embracing that identity, or do we want to welcome a multi-generational populace, and what would that look like? I've been leading a town with high property values, residential infill, new and expanded businesses, and ER, more activities than